Hello and welcome to the Open Ike Show, where we open up about open mics. I'm your host, Isaac Heiner. Our guest today is Tague Zachary, a musical comedian, a writer and performer. Welcome to the show, Tague.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. So our opening question is, what do LA open mics mean to you?
Oh, not that. Well, let's see. They are a scary thing to me. They are a thing that I have been so scary that I actually haven't even done that many of them.
Yeah.
Like when I used to live in Chicago, I braved the world of going to like the improv things and everything. And one thing that helped was like eventually like taking classes, and then that kind of like and then eventually I interned at a place, and that made me feel more comfortable just sort of like being in like the scene, or like just going to the places. And even these days I still I feel I feel scared of going to some of these like comedy open mic things because I guess I don't have that community at all.
Okay.
And I'm a bit of an anxious puppy.
Gotcha. When did you move?
Let's see, about 4 years ago.
Okay.
Well, so I moved out during Corona time.
Gotcha.
And then I was in Irvine down with my parents for like, I don't know, like a year or so before coming up in about 2021.
Gotcha. And so you were doing shows in Chicago before that. Did you come here to pursue comedy?
Not specifically. Like my sister was already living in LA, and I was thinking like, oh well, it's nice having family out here, and maybe I'll try doing some creative stuff like comedy or film or blah blah blah. And then I didn't actually do that much stuff for a long time when I was out here. I think when I was living in Chicago, I'd kind of gotten into the habit of not reaching out and hustling for shows and different things, because I was getting invited to do enough shows, like enough stuff for to satiate my interest in performing and everything, and then once I got out here, I was like, oh wait. Nobody knows me. Nobody's asked me to do shows. I was like, okay, you know what? I got to hustle it in a little bit. And then when I did, I just had a few. I just bombed it at a few different things, like some comedy things and some things that were more just general open mics with like music and other things, and that swore me off it for a while.
Gotcha. So you're not doing too many open mics, but so I did see you perform. That's kind of how we met. So are you, kind of how often are you doing performances these days?
Let's see. This was my first performance in about... first live performance in maybe like 8 months or so.
Yeah.
I don't know if you could tell, but I was actually really nervous before the show.
I think it worked for you,
Cool.
you know? Yeah.
Let's see, the nervousness. Yeah, I like in the days leading up to, I was like, oh man, I don't want to just like do all my old stuff. I should come up with new stuff. Then I was like, wait, almost nobody's seen my old stuff, so I probably could just do most of the old stuff that I love. Yeah. And then I actually I had 2 Porch Fest shows. Mm-hmm. The one before the venue that you saw me at was like outside an apartment building, like kind of on a sidewalk, and almost nobody showed up, and it was in the sun, and my audio didn't work with the audio equipment, and I was feeling really low when it happened. Yeah. So going over to this other venue, it was just so like warm and welcoming and cute.
Yeah.
It was so cute.
Yeah.
That was actually exactly what I was hoping for. Yeah. A really sort of like engaged audience. That was full of mostly people who were not performing, right. Which actually brings my mind back to like open mics and everything. One thing I don't like about open mics is that a lot of times people are just thinking about their own set that they're about to go up and do, or maybe when they finish they just bounce. So there's like fewer and fewer people like as the night goes on, and there aren't many like randos or normies in the audience.
Right.
and I love performing for randos,
Right.
like people or people who aren't like going to be performing themselves.
Yeah, normies, I call them. I mean, comedians laugh at different things than real audiences. So you've kind of got to gauge the performance differently.
Yeah.
But so the experience at open mics you were talking about, was that kind of specific to LA, or were you kind of referring more to the Chicago mics?
I think at most open mics that I've done, even in other like random places, like I did an open mic in Vancouver. I've done. I started off doing open mics in Iowa City, like where and actually one of the very first one I did was actually at the college I went to. I went to Grinnell College in Iowa.
Sure.
And it was. That was kind of like super warm and welcoming and lovely and everything. And then I went to the one in Iowa City, and it was very much. It was closer to the vibe that I got from most other open mics, which was like, who are you? We don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I feel like I'm guessing that people have had lovelier experiences with open mics. And I would say most of mine have been
Right.
Yeah. And maybe that's because I suck at comedy, but I don't know.
I don't think so. So I introduced you as a musical comedian, and so your performance definitely, and I'm going to go a little bit into it more, but so in Chicago, were you doing straight stand-up, or were you always doing the musical thing?
Once I got to Chicago, I pretty much was just doing the musical comedy.
Yeah.
And in between it, I would maybe have some like small, just kind of regular talking stand-up bits, a little bit like Bo Burnham. Like he's got lots of stuff that is not musical stuff, kind of filling the spaces in between his bigger songs and theatrical kind of pieces and everything. And I let's see. And then also one thing I started doing more and more is like audience interaction stuff.
Yeah.
I think that's one of my favorite forms of theater in general, whether it's like immersive theater or like audience interaction in a stand-up space. Even though I know that a lot of people get flack for it for just doing like the crowd work stuff.
I don't think it was quite crowd work, and it was funny. So you did like a Q&A for a minute, right? And so for this, I was actually watching some YouTubes that are up, and I noticed that you did that as well, and kind of like a mic or a show that you posted. And I was like, oh, okay, so that's a thing that he does. And it wasn't, you weren't going in and saying, where are you from? What do you do for work? You were saying, do you have questions for me, right? So,
it was performer work.
Yeah.
It was crowd work in the other direction.
Yeah, exactly. And so I did ask a question. I was trying to do a bit. I couldn't quite get it out. But I asked, and please take this with a grain of salt, I asked, do aliens exist? Right? And really what I was trying to get to was like, do aliens exist and what have they told you about us? Or something I was trying to play on, because you were very frenetic, and so my joke didn't land, and you took it, and you went on to the next thing. But
so it's good to know that I give off, like, I've been abducted by alien vibes.
Have you heard that before?
No, but I have now.
Yeah. And with the utmost respect. I mean, that the aliens picked you.
Yeah.
You should feel special.
I'm a special boy. I'm one of the luckiest people to have ever lived on this globe in a bunch of different ways, and that is one of the ways that I got picked.
What's another way?
Let's see. Oh gosh, the other stuff feels weird for me to say, but I'll be vulnerable on this podcast.
Yeah.
Let's see. The fact that I was born to an affluent family, and I live in a country where I happen to have some of the I don't know, beauty standards that people admire and appreciate, like being tall and I don't know. It's like, sometimes my hair looks nice, but also like the opportunities that I've had, which definitely is related to like the affluence and stuff of my forebears.
And you sound kind of aware,
I try to be.
Yeah, that's great. So, okay, I wanted to ask about, so you said you hadn't done a show in, was 8 to 10 months before I saw you?
A while.
But you weren't, not doing comedy, right? You were just kind of not doing live comedy?
Yes, I've been working on like music and music videos and stuff for a little while, and starting up this thing that my cousin and I recently put out. Called Uploaded Productions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we'll put that down on the lower third. Yeah. And so you're doing like music videos and comedy songs, and you're collaborating with. So your cousin, are you
Yes.
collaborating with any more family members?
Oh well, yes, I am. Funny you ask. My sister is an like actor, singer. Also, she just like graduated from the like Stark like producing program at USC. So she's like very much like in like the film and like film TV performance world. And I actually live with her, so it's very easy to be like, "Hey Lex, do you want to do this weird thing for a couple hours?" And she'll be like, "Sure, that's not fun."
I need some vocals. Come on.
Yeah.
Nice.
And so it's and then we also live with some other creative people. I like having other folks that are doing creative stuff in the space.
That's kind of the easiest way to kind of get your juices going, is kind of get other people with their juices going, right? So I had a funny experience. I'm going to ask a question. Have you noticed on Spotify an uptick on plays of OK?
No.
In the last week.
I have not. It's interesting. I think with Spotify, I get like a monthly sort of update or whatever, and usually it says 0. You have 0 more views and 0 more, unique listeners or whatever.
And so I don't know. So unique listeners, because it's like whether it's devices or total plays or something, but you'll see a little uptick.
Okay.
I get a little obsessive about songs. I really like the melody and the message and the guitar playing and all that stuff. So I've been listening to it a lot. Last night I couldn't sleep. I had it in my head. I played it, and then it went into a song, I might get it right, Comedy Lullaby?
Oh, yeah. Artist Lullaby?
Oh, Artist Lullaby, and it was
Yeah.
just like, I thought I was dreaming or something, because it starts with like your sister just saying, like,
hey, sleepy artist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, that's me, what's going on? I'll listen. And so it was just like, it was a very surreal moment, and it only happened because of how much I enjoyed OK when you played it live, and how kind of locked in I got into it this last week. So.
I'm glad that you connected with it. That's lovely. I love that song so much. I feel like I don't know if this is a common experience with people with artists and creative people. I feel like I like a lot of the stuff that I've made, and that is a song that is like I think is I don't know. I love the way it sounds. I think it's very like it's an honest kind of experience for me. That sort of duality of like, no, it's okay. Like we're all gonna die and that's okay and I'm happy. And then everything else.
That seemed like a theme a little bit, kind of existential dread and kind of the, delicateness of living and whatnot. So
certainly,
I really appreciated that song. And so when you play it live, you show up with equipment, is what I'll say. And so I play guitar as well. I've got an RC3.
Oh, RC3, wow.
You have an RC300.
I do,
so
I'm a
that's
big boy.
297 better than mine. And then I think it was a drum machine as well.
So it's actually a TC Helicon like vocal guitar like processor.
Okay. Gotcha.
I didn't even use it that much in the show, but it helps a little bit with pitch correction, which I need, and it helps a little bit with like just EQing the sound to make it sound a little bit nicer.
Got it. And so for those at home, what the RC300 does really briefly is, so it's a phrase looper, and you set the length of the phrase, and you record whether it's guitar, voice, something like that, and then it's going to repeat, and then you build layers on top of it. And so that featured prominently, and it's really a skill set. I mean, it's something that I mess around with on my little box. You've got like 5, 6 buttons, expression pedals, all that. So the question, all of that, were you doing that in Chicago, or was it really just you and a guitar?
Let's see. I think I moved to Chicago like 2016. I probably started doing like the musical comedy stuff 2017 about, and then probably like a year into it, I discovered the looper. I think maybe I saw Reggie Watts or somebody like performing on it. I was like, I need that.
Yeah.
And I pretty quickly like involved it in my musical kind of things. I think like the first thing I came up with was the like that one sentence story where I build the sentence or whatever, like one word at a time.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my god, this is so much fun, and then just
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen some. So the performance you said you had just written that the night before. So was that a lie or you did like?
I wrote the sort of the like musical addition to
Gotcha.
it, where because in the past I never did it like with any kind of pitch.
Right.
I just did it with like I wish I had a but then I was like, if I actually use the auto tune function to make sure that I have a consistent pitch for all of the words that I say, I can have a little. I can then build on it later to like add some harmonies
Right.
and just add some weird fun stuff.
Nice. So the mics you're going to, like I asked about the equipment because, it takes a little bit to set it up. And I'm thinking that'd be hard for like a stand-up mic. So were you actually doing music mics? Were you doing mixed mics?
I was doing. It was a variety. And even at, let's see, regardless of where I went, I was usually bringing my own my own amp. Much to the chagrin of some of the people, in particular, like if they like had like a sound guy being like, "We've got a whole system here. Why are you gonna play it on this shit ass amp right here?" But like, because like if we use like the PA in this room, then I don't know if the feedback from the looper is gonna get really big and crazy and shitty.
Yeah.
And I know that this works, so please just let me play my dinky little thing.
Were you bringing your own mic as well? Because
I had my I brought mic, amp, looper, guitar. And so I was hustling all over the Chicago CTA system with all those guys, and that was actually like a part of like my exercise, like walking up and down the stairs carrying all that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what I was imagining, and it was a little bit so. And your time starts when they say your name, so you got really good at just plug, right?
Yes, and I got a before I had the RC 300, I had the RC 30, which you can actually have as battery powered.
Okay.
And the amp that I have is actually is like battery powered too.
Sure.
You can charge it. So I got a system where I actually didn't have to plug in anything because I knew that people were gonna be like, oh wait, we don't actually want to have to wait for you to set up anything.
Yeah.
I knew that there was going to be some sort of like, like, oh, this guy's like a hack comic, he needs music or whatever. So I wanted to give them as little reason to be annoyed by my like music and set and everything as possible. Just get up there, do it, get out.
Right. So I have a theory, talk about it a lot on here, is that your set begins when you walk into the room. Right, it's the appearance, it's the energy, and I like to kind of stay consistent with that and kind of not get into character on the side of the stage. I like to be present in character when I get there. And when you walk in with all that, you're setting a mood, like you're making a statement that way. So I think that that was a funny visual I had in my head of you just running around Chicago with all that stuff, and all the power to you.
So I'm hearing that. Like, did you see me come in before like my set for the Porch Fest thing?
I think I saw your cousin because you definitely videotaped. And kind of with a better, like not on your phone, right? I think there was like a camcorder or something.
Yeah. He had his own like DSLR.
Yeah. Is he the video brains of the operation?
Yes, he's usually the DP for the like things that we like the videos that we make and music videos and everything.
Is he funny?
He's funny. Oftentimes, what we do is at the beginning of the week to figure out what we're gonna make. We do a 5-5-5 where we spend 5 minutes each writing about something. We use a random word generator just to inspire something, and then we do that 5 times. and at the end of it, we just like go through. We'll have 10 different sort of ideas and pick the one that sort of excites us most for the week. And his ideas have been picked like regularly.
Yeah.
So he's is he funny all the time? No, but
Yeah.
none of us are funny all the time.
Yeah.
He's funny plenty enough.
Nice. And I mean, you bouncing ideas off each other, so it's I haven't
Like building on each other's things.
Yeah. I have some people that I kind of I mean, so my mom does stand up, and so we write together sometimes, or we'll kind of like bounce ideas off each other, give each other notes. But I write pretty solitarily or whatever, and so I'm jealous of people that have like a writing partner, someone in the family. Does he live in the?
He lives over like in the Sawtell kind of area.
Okay, so not with you and the rest of the crew.
Not in the same place.
Yeah.
He actually does. We've been doing this thing where he comes over almost every morning to work on creative stuff. And he's actually been filming it like with that same sort of camera and setup and everything. He's like, maybe I'll make a documentary out of this.
Yeah. So just about your childhood, your family. You said your parents are here now. Did you grow up in LA?
Let's see. Born in Minnesota, moved over to Northern California when I was like 4 or so, and then moved down to Southern California. Just before 8th grade.
Okay.
And since then, my parents have stayed in Irvine, and so like whether I was after that when I was living in Iowa, Chicago, wherever, it would still be my home base. Go back to.
Yeah. How connected are you still with Minnesota?
Let's see. Not super. I have been back there. I in my adult life maybe 4 or 5 times.
Okay.
I went back to my childhood home that I had like lots and lots of memories from, and the people. I did the thing where you go. I don't know if you've done it, where you like go to be like, hey, I used to live here.
Yeah.
Can I just come around and just look at the hallway and stuff?
This is where we used to live.
Yeah. And it was so that's my connection to Minnesota,
Okay.
and also just some vague sort of like. Oh yeah, I love it.
I think it's a hidden gem.
Mm-hmm.
I go to Minnesota twice a year.
Oh, for?
Family.
Yeah, cool.
So my dad just moved back there. I grew up in Connecticut,
Okay.
and he flew me from LA to Connecticut. We loaded up his car and then drove it to Minnesota, the two of us. And I got him set up in his new apartment. My brother and my little sister, all my nieces and nephews and all that. So I think it's a hidden gem. I think they've got amazing food. I think they've got amazing music and comedy. I think the weather is freaking awesome for like 7 months out of the year, and then uninhabitable for the rest of the year. The problem is like it's a lot of holidays, so it's like Thanksgiving, Hanukkah, or whatever you celebrate. And so my birthday's May, and so I kind of do like a birthday trip there often.
When in May?
May 4th. May the 4th be with you.
It was Cinco de Mayo.
Oh, I always remember where I am on Cinco de Mayo because it's wherever I was on my birthday.
Interesting. Oh, yeah.
But the next morning.
Yeah, hungover in bed.
Smoking a joint on an abandoned, like the portico of a half-constructed mansion in Simsbury, Connecticut. Shout out to Edwin, Jeff, and Drew. You know who you are.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
I also, just like I have some sort of vague connection with Minnesota, I feel some sort of vague connection with May people.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I think May the 4th, I think it's in the running for the best birthday.
Mm-hmm.
It's got a lot going for it. I mean, the spring is a wonderful time to celebrate. And I will say this. The Star Wars, May the 4th be with you.
So cool.
That was not a thing when I was a kid.
Interesting.
It came when, like, they did the re-releases. Remember those abominations?
So the re-releases. So there was like the prequels and then the sequels.
So they theatrically released the original trilogy with additional video effects.
Oh, yeah. Like, where like Han Solo shot first. Oh, no, shot second?
I think that was part of it, and then the one thing, I remember when the Death Star exploded, like the ring that emanated or something, and people were giving George a hard time, but I don't. If you were George Lucas, would you care about anything anyone had to say?
I don't know. So if I were, I guess if I had my like regular feelings, I think I care about my audience's experience.
I gotcha, yeah.
Even though I have plenty of people in my life, like mentors and other people I admire, that are like, no, like just make the art that you want to make and fuck everything else.
Yeah,
And I'm like, oh, no, I want my audience having a good time.
Yeah, for sure. All right, so you grew up in Minnesota, you bopped around a little bit, so I'm curious, did you perform much as a kid?
Not so much in like I wasn't a part of like theater. I didn't do like theater camp or like do like musicals. My sister loved musicals and everything, and she was regularly in that stuff. And I was, I think I was like, oh no, that's stupid. That's not like not cool. All that jazz. And also, whenever there was an opportunity for a skit, like either at summer camp or in class or whatever, I was so excited. I was like, yes, let's write it, let's go ham.
Yeah.
I connected those dots a little bit more when I got to college. I was like, oh, I kind of want to take an acting class.
Yeah.
And it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's, I'm hearing that a lot, that like, the entry in as a kid is like these sketches, and sometimes it's like school, sometimes it's performing for family and stuff like that. And I had the similar thing. I had a teacher, it was my best friend's dad. He's a rabbi, so he was teaching us like rabbinical, whatever, you know.
Rabbinical?
He was just Torah. That was like the class.
Interesting. My surprise is I've never just not heard the word rabbinical.
Yeah, ever having to do with rabbis.
Interesting. Yeah. Rabbinical.
Yeah. Have you heard telephony?
No.
Ever having to do with telephones?
No.
Yeah, telephony. It's talk like internet, early internet when it was on telephones. You'll hear telephony talk.
What's the context for this word? What's telephony?
Is like I'm sick of talking about telephony.
Okay, well, in my mind, if I can poo-poo on that example right there, I don't think that sort of actually clarifies what telephony is. Like,
or
like how would you use it? Being like. Or who would be saying the word telephony?
Maybe like a cable runner for the AT&T. Right, and is like, oh, this is the cable wire, and this wire handles the telephony.
Yeah. This is the electrical wire, and this is the telephony wire. So something like
maybe.
Yeah. I believe you that it's a thing. But it's a wild thing.
Yeah. So rabbinical.
Rabbinical.
So he'd do these things, creative projects, and I remember I wrote an infomercial for the land of Israel with like just highlighting all the biblical references. So it's like, hey, do you like milk? Do you like honey? Let me tell you. Kind of stuff. And I remember I did one and it crushed. My scene partner, I wrote the whole thing. We acted. I was the straight man. He was just like so goofy. And then we did it again, and the second one just didn't hit the same. So I kind of learned the lesson of like, formulas, there's something to it, but you got to put the work in. You got to do, what you got to do. So do you have like a recollection of one of these kind of earlier pieces that you put together?
Oh, yeah, one that's popping to mind is a skit that I did for Spanish class.
Yeah.
And I don't even remember exactly what it was about, but I remember I was really throwing myself around the room and like crashing into cupboards and stuff, and the teacher was very like concerned. I think for me and definitely the cupboards.
Yeah.
But like it was so fun, like kind of like messing with the space, like the sacred space of education in the classroom and everything. Yeah. It was fun coming in and being a bit of an ass.
Right.
A bit of an ass. Or just like. Irreverent, more like more so, and I suppose that's actually when I say like, my first things were like sketches and everything. I think my first stage was the classroom.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
And I like every day I was. Yeah, that's all I was trying to. That was most of what I was trying to do, was just like to get people to laugh and to like disrupt things. And I've done a decent amount of classroom teaching since then. And it's really, really stressful for me because I hate when kids do that. And this is, I'm sure, some partially just cosmic justice, and also I think I've heard people talk about like, oh yeah, some of the things that you hate most in other people are things that you hate in yourself. Like I do feel some shame about the how difficult I made it for all of these teachers over all these years.
So I don't make money doing comedy. You know, I think we're all out here kind of supporting this endeavor that we're in. Do you? How are you supporting?
I have made money doing comedy, but even when I got $500 for a show and $200, I'm like, wow, this could be sustainable. It was very, very far from sustainable. I mostly get money from doing tutoring stuff these days. I tutor chemistry and math and a bit of Spanish and a bit of a little bit of like piano and guitar, like lessons and stuff, and I love it.
Yeah,
I love it.
What's funny about it?
What's funny about it? Let's see. When students are like, when I explain something, and students are like, "Oh, okay, I get it."
Yeah.
And like 100%, they do not understand.
Right.
But the thing is, there are some students who do actually get it when they say, "Oh, okay, I'll get it." So I have had to learn a little bit, or I guess you just like as you get to know the student, you sort of realize, oh yeah, no, this is not actually an expression of a reflection of their understanding. This is what they say because it's scary to be like I'm confused. Or to admit that like you don't get something. You're like, oh no, this person's gonna think I'm stupid or whatever.
Yeah, sham, right?
Sham, yeah. So it's kind of funny.
Yeah, no, for sure. My niece is 5. She's also my landlord, and so she's learning how to read. And there's times where there's like it'll like blank AT and then a picture of a cat, and we're like, what does this say? And then I see her eyes go to the right, and she goes cat, and we're like, well, yeah, but can we do that without the pictures? Like, I feel like there's a whole kind of thing they're just giving her, but maybe it's about like learning the AT or something. So I don't question it. I'm not a teacher.
I wonder if the pedagogy is like if you just show them CAT, there would be no chance of them getting it, and they actually learn what about like filling in the blank at all just from like seeing the two side by side, the really, really obvious thing, and then later on they can get better at filling in the blank.
Maybe. I try to challenge her, so the word, and we've gone through this, like you could say this word to her right now and she'd crack up because she totally would get it, but so I'm trying to get her to spell shabba dabba doodle bing bing bong, and she's getting close.
Like halfway there, or?
Well, I mean, we're making it up as we go anyway, but she like sounds it out. It's like sha.
Shabba.
Yeah.
Oh,
exactly. Yeah.
That's one thing that's funny with kids learning to read is like them kind of going through words like phonically, like not that like haha they're dumb or whatever, but just like oh yeah, I guess that is how you break down that word.
Yeah.
I don't know. I find it fascinating.
My issue there, because when you're going through it with them, you really see how nothing is spelled how it sounds, right? And just like food, she's like fo-o-ode, and I'm like, yes, but that says food.
Yeah. You're not wrong, and I'm so sorry, but this is another exception to the rule.
Yeah.
And like I'm so glad that English is my first language, because I would have hated trying to learn kind of like the language of like whatever business and commerce that is now of the world, which is now English, as a second language.
Yeah.
That sounds like a not fun time.
No. Do you speak any other languages?
Yeah, I speak Spanish decently well. My brother like speaks fluently, and his wife's from Argentina, so I practice with them here and there. And I've had some former partners who are Hispanic, and I spoke with them, And this right now, this is me dealing with feelings about that, and then this is me letting that go.
Yeah. Oh, good. Good. I'm happy we got there. Tague, do you have any questions for us?
Let's see, a fun question. So, how are you doing tonight? What do you do for work?
I'm doing great. I do this for work. So I moved out here with a job in December. I promptly lost it around March.
Okay.
And I've been working on films. I have been, I did a trial at a auto insurance office for 3 days, and I would have been pretty good at it, but it was too far from home. The commute was going to be crazy. And so I'm back. I'm booked on a film, like on the production side.
Okay.
So that's...
What on the production side, if I may ask?
I'm production coordinating a independent feature. I co-produced an independent feature that shot earlier in the year that's coming out next Halloween. And, you know, shorts and other stuff, you know, day gigs here and there. But... I'm in the right town for it, but there's a lot of competition.
Yes.
You know, that's a perfect segue to the next question.
What do you mean?
So, maybe in Chicago, but there's this idea of supporting the room and other comics, but then there's also the idea of like getting your own time and the competitiveness. And so, did you experience that in Chicago, and kind of did you see people kind of rise up, and were you comparing yourselves to their success?
100% comparing myself to their successes. Unfortunately, like, maybe there are people who avoid it or just have like the self-assuredness to be for it to not even like occur to them. They just feel their worth and everything, and they're good to go. But for I mean. Yeah, I never really experienced success in the comedy world in the way that I really wanted to, and every time I saw somebody that was doing it, it was hard not to be like, damn, that good for them. Fuck, I want that.
But it is a meritocracy. I mean, the people you're thinking of, like, they had the goods,
yes,
you know, or they'd fall on their face. Right?
Yeah, no, there were. It takes a lot of luck, but I also think a lot of the people who have succeeded, I think it wasn't just luck. It was like like when opportunity meets preparation. There were people like making dope stuff, and so it wasn't just like this person got lucky over me. It was like, oh fuck, this person's good and maybe just way better than me. And so I think that's half the question of like, am I comparing myself to them? Was the other half of the question like
just support versus competitiveness, the same kind of ideas?
Yeah. I definitely tried being supportive, like in shows, in terms of being like an engaged audience member, and also in terms of just like going to like friends' shows and everything, even though going to your own shows kind of gets in the way of that a little bit sometimes. Right. And also I got in my own way with being so anxious about my upcoming set or whatever that I wasn't even as attentive. I wasn't as attentive as I probably should have been, like, for the benefit of this, like, this friend or this random person who's on stage performing, like, and I think there's a lot of anxious people in the comedy and performance world, and I'm guessing most people were like that, and that's one of the reasons why it sucks to perform comedy for other comedians.
It's a thing, you know. I respect your feelings. I don't think it sucks to perform for them. I just think you have to know what you can expect and kind of what you're getting out of it. Also, I kind of stick to the supportive rooms where, and it starts with the host, right? I mean, the host at one mic I go to at Elysian specifically says at the beginning of the set, comics can't hear you smile, right? Like, laugh. If something's funny, laugh.
Yeah.
And then she's always laughing. And so that's how I gauge it, is if Megan's laughing. You know?
Yes.
And so
I like that. I like people like making the kind of community that they want to be like to be a part of. I feel like good on that person.
Yeah. So you mentioned kind of having anxiety, stage fright, whatever you're going to call it. What are your coping mechanisms? How do you combat?
Sometimes I can change. I feel like I can channel the nervous energy into excited energy. And part of that is like getting into my body, like just being like, oh God, this sucks. Okay, feel this tummy, feel this tummy. I don't know, get into the ridiculousness of it, and that helps channel it from nervous to excited.
Yeah.
I feel like the two feelings are very can be close to each other for me sometimes.
Yeah.
So that's definitely one way that I deal with it. One thing that definitely helps is being like prepped, doing, like rehearsing stuff beforehand and feeling like you aren't just going in and gonna wing it or whatever.
Yeah.
I like to rehearse with other people. If I know a friend of mine's going to the show, I'll be like, hey, do you actually have time to come over beforehand for me to like go through to like just perform the show for one person to practice it, but then also to even like workshops and stuff.
Yeah.
And then sometimes I'll involve them in the show.
Nice.
That helps. What do you do?
So I run the first line over and over. Because the only time I'm gonna falter is at the beginning. Once I get it started, muscle memory kicks in. So I just need to make sure I know the opening, and then everything else kind of follows.
There is, I feel like I know what you're talking about. Like, once I'm up there, I feel like I'm usually just like, we're doing it, how's it going? And it kind of clips along nicely.
Yeah. The nerves is before you go up. When I'm up, it's so natural. It's like, this is where I want to be, and it just kind of comes out.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't drink. That I know some people. I mean, I do drink. I don't drink before I perform, but I know some people do. I mean, that's kind of liquid courage or something. Have you gone down that road?
Yes, I did that once, and I think it just made me sloppy. I wasn't even like drunk, but I was just like a little less lucid.
Yeah.
A little. So I haven't really done it much since
I think
then.
it could with experience or a booked show, again with experience, but like at the open mics, I'm really focusing on my goals for that mic. And the alcohol's not gonna help with that, so. Would you, let's see, the $5 for 5 minutes, the bringers, what kind of mics were you going to? Was it
Let's see. In Chicago, most of them were free, which is lovely. That was also one thing that has turned me a little bit off from the LA mics. Is like, wait, I have to pay to go up and have nobody listen to me perform. Also, I have some sort of bad feeling about being so cynical about open mics. Maybe this is supposed to be like an open mic loving show. This is that's my experience.
Yeah, no, we want real.
Yeah.
Not everyone loves open mics in LA, so.
Yeah. There was something else I was gonna say, and it's gone.
Bringers.
Oh yeah, bringer. I don't even have, I would say, enough experience with those ones to say, like, if I have ones that. Yeah.
Well, there's like a barter thing. Oh, we're getting the light.
We're getting the light.
Let's respect it tonight.
So I'm trying to think. Wait, can I Google Map something real quick to see how long it's going to take me to drive somewhere? Because I'd love to have a little bit of leeway of a few minutes. If say we get right to 6 and we're like really popping and cruising.
We can do that. We can end the show and hang out or whatever. But
why don't we just say that's it, dude? It was fantastic.
Yeah, you did a great job.
Yeah. Any other questions or things that we're gonna get better at as we go along? This is exactly what we were looking for.
Cool, I love it.
Where are you headed?
Let's see. I am doing a tutoring session, a virtual tutoring session, which I can just do from my car. But then right after that, I'm going to be. I have my a music video of mine that is going to be at some screening. It's at the Great Film Club.
Nice.
It's something, and I don't actually know where exactly that is. I think it's in Hollywood or something. So
Okay.
I actually need to be able to get from there.
It's not too far. Traffic might be, but you'll, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we did get the light a little bit ago. We ran it a little bit, but that, so that is our show. I would love to thank our guest, Tague Zachary, for stepping up to the mic. I want to thank all of you for listening, and to anyone out there still chasing stage time, I've been Isaac, and we will see you next week with more stories from the scene.
That's dope. All right.
How do we end? What do we do?
You
Awesome.
know,
We hug.
Yeah, excellent. Hey, that was freaking great, man.
Cool.
Awesome, yeah.